Baruch Hashem, it's day number 51 of our daily study of Rambam, Sefer HaMitzvos. And in our 3 chapters a day of Mishnah Torah, we're starting the laws of resting on Yom Tov, Hilchos Shvisas Yom Tov. Before we jump in, I want to make a general note, and that is, anytime we speak about resting on Yom Tov, it has a different definition than what we've been using so far when we spoke about resting on Shabbos as well as resting on Yom Kippur. The definition of resting on Shabbos and resting on Yom Kippur are identical. Resting on a Yom Tov is a little bit different, however, and that is because it means to refrain from malacha, as we've defined previously. Malacha is productive, creative labor. However, there's an exception. The exception is that on Yom Tov, one is permitted to engage in malacha required for food preparation. So please have that in mind. Anytime we talk about resting on a Yom Tov, we mean resting with the exception of food preparation malachas that would be required for making food. And I'll also note that means making food for the purposes of Yom Tov, not that you're going to open a catering company on Yom Tov, but that you're cooking for food that you're going to consume in order to celebrate the Yom Tov. Okay. And it's not just cooking. I said cooking, but anything that's even related to the preparation of food. Okay. Positive commandment number 159, the commandment to rest on the first day of Pesach. By the way, when we say it's the commandment to rest on the first day of Pesach, it's understood that outside of the land of Israel, that is the first and second day. It's a 2-day Yom Tov outside of the land of Israel. Okay, and by the way, that's going to apply to all of the Yom Tovim, all of the holidays we're going to learn about. When we talk about it as one day, rabbinically outside of the land of Israel, it's 2 days. Okay, that's how we do it. Next, we have negative commandment 323. All right. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Remember yesterday when we did Yom Kippur, and we had a positive commandment to rest on Yom Kippur, and then we had a negative commandment not to do malacha on Yom Kippur? Okay, so we just had positive commandment 159 to rest on the first day of Pesach. What do you think the next mitzvah is? I mean, you don't have to guess the number. The number is negative 323. But what is it? What do you think negative 323 is? You're right, exactly. It is the negative commandment not to do malacha on the first day of Pesach. Okay? We're going to have this pattern again. We're going to have it throughout these laws. Right now, positive commandment 160, to rest on the 7th day of Passover. And again, when we say the 7th day, we mean the 7th and 8th day outside of the land of Israel. Okay, so that's positive commandment 160, to rest on the 7th day of Passover. And then next you have negative commandment 324. What do you think that's going to be? Yes, right, exactly. The prohibition against doing malacha, against working on the 7th day of Passover, which, as we said, is actually the 7th and 8th day of Passover outside of the land of Israel, where we observe 2 days of Yom Tov. Okay, those are our mitzvahs for today, and we're going to be continuing with the mitzvahs that correspond to Hilchos Shvisas Yom Tov, the laws of resting on Yom Tov, and it follows this pattern. We're going to have the commandment to rest, and then the prohibition against doing work, and we're going to go through basically the Jewish year and cover the different holidays, God willing. And we'll see you tomorrow, God willing.